zoning board of adjustments meeting on November the 7th, 2017. Clerk, call the roll.
Caruso.
John. Say yes.
Jack.
Here.
Giordano. Casa. Loza.
Here.
Mafucci.
Here.
Sheldon.
Here.
Smith. Milano.
Yeah.
Del Garcia.
Pledge allegiance, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Secretary, was sunshine notice on?
Certification of the meeting has been advertised at Brightsville Sunshine Law.
Yeah. May I have a motion for the minutes? May I have a motion for the minutes, please?
I second.
Motion and a second. Motion. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Caruso.
Jack.
Here. Yes.
Loza.
Yes.
Mafucci.
Yes.
Sheldon.
Yes.
Milano.
Yes. Applications for adjournment.
Mr. Chairman, I have a D or use variance, and I would request an adjournment in view of the fact there's only 5 board members present, and that's ZB 2017-018 Rutgers Street.
Anybody here for ZB 2017-018? The meeting will be adjourned to the next board meeting, December the 7th. Right?
No further notice. I waive the time constraints, and that'll be at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a good evening.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, just to get things in order, can we, I'd like to do the resolutions now, rather than rushing them at the, for more organization. Okay?
Yep.
Clerk?
Matter of Joseph and Maria Longo, 12 Campbell, application ZB 2017-014, Caruso. Loza.
Yes.
Mafucci.
Yes.
Milano.
Yes.
Matter of 517 Geralman LLC, 517-523 Geralman Street, application number ZB 2017-015. Caruso.
Yeah.
Sheldon.
Yes.
Loza.
Yes.
Mafucci.
Yes.
Milano.
Yes. Okay.
Excuse me, just one sec. On the agenda, the address is a little, I mean, the case number.
Number 2,
For the second one.
yeah, ZB 2017, yeah, 015,
Oh.
and that's the address. That's it,
Okay.
that's the address.
Right.
Right.
Okay, never mind.
All right, so, that being said, ZB 2017-016. Please come on.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Paul Jemas, J-E-M-A-S, the attorney for the applicant. I'll be, with your permission, I'll be quick about this.
Please.
Paul, if you could just let me indicate on the record that I've reviewed the affidavit for service and notice and it's accepted.
Thank you. Dr. Shiva, who owns the property as well as the business, got an approval from this board back in 2011 that contains certain conditions. He has a medical practice at the facility, and he also, in conjunction with that medical practice, there's a therapist operation. The way that the condition is written, which was prudent, I believe, at that time, was that Dr. Shiva's operations on the first floor had to be in those offices, and restricted the manner in which that second office could be used, unless
The one on the first floor?
first floor. If I said second, I meant first.
Yeah.
And what's happened is Dr. Shiva, in order for his patients to get the kind of medical treatment they need, needs a physical therapy operation there. And with Mr. DiVincenzo's cooperation, a temporary certificate of occupancy was issued back in October, where a physical therapy component is operating out of the other office. What's happened is they need to make a legal entity for that other physical therapy operation,
Separate from his.
separate from it. So technically, as I discussed it with Mr. DiLorenzo, it would not be consistent with the condition which says it has to be Dr. Shiva in his medical practice. So what we're looking to do here simply is not change the building, not change the use. It's going to be exactly the same use as been in operation for the last year, uneventfully, I might add.
So if you could, just for the board, so when you came in front of us for 2014, I think it was,
20, oh, I don't remember. I was not representing them, but I remember the only application I know was 2010, which was decided in February of 2011.
And then there was one in 2014, which had an A after it, which I'm assuming was a supplemental.
So it might have been a supplemental, but I'm not familiar with that.
That was for the sign.
That was just for the sign.
It was for the
Yes.
sign.
okay,
Yeah.
so let's go back into 2011, or
Right.
2010. So, explain to me the way it is now, right, on do the rental, you
There's
know,
there's residential on the second floor, as I understand it. Correct, I could swear
Why
on
don't
it.
you come on up?
yeah.
Yeah, my name is,
Cut right to the chase.
If you could raise your right hand, please. With regard to this application, do you swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth?
yes,
Could you state your name, spell your last name, please?
my last name is Shiva Shankar, Shiva, Shankar. My first name is Keshav, Keshab.
And you're the doctor?
I'm the doctor, yes.
Okay, and you're the owner of the property?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I think that's...
So,
yeah.
so the question was, the restriction that we put in, I mean, I kind of remember it, so I think the way it reads is that the therapist would be, have to be a member of your family or something like that, or you're...
I can read it to you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, please.
It says, the second floor office space shall be limited to 3 separate rental users, and the 2 office spaces on the ground floor will be used by the property owner.
Right, okay,
What
let's,
we're seeking is to have it may both be used by the property owners, or one of the office spaces on the ground floor may be used by the property owners, or may be used by a rental user, including a physical therapy use.
that's what you're seeking,
That's what we're seeking,
right. but
which
the
is a
ori-
change from that it has to be Dr.
right,
Shiva's
but
medical.
I am correct, and originally said that had to be him.
Yes, correct.
So now you're looking for a licensed therapist,
Yes, correct.
right, separate entity, right?
Correct. Separate legal entity, but the use is still going to be the same
It's
use
for
as
his,
an operation.
it's for his, the procedures are basically, his business flow is gonna be the same, but that entity is not going to be related to him.
That's correct.
Any questions on that by the board?
But the use is still going to be medical, it's still going to be a medical use.
That's correct.
So,
And upstairs is still the same?
Upstairs, so nothing else in the
is
building
that
is
one
changing.
rental? One rental upstairs? How many rentals are upstairs?
There are 3, but none of them are occupied.
Okay. Any questions on that?
I do. What's CAP service? It's on the mailbox.
No, that was a rental person rented it, but he's not there anymore.
Okay, because it was on the mailbox.
Yeah, he's not there anymore. It's more than a year. Exactly.
Metro,
Metro is not such a part of mine. It's a building in
the
our.
building portion. Okay, thank you.
Well, okay. I guess my only going back to the residentials, right? Well, so is this, wait, is that the original resolution? A sole residential, meaning, to me, that is single.
Yeah, the sole residential unit shall be limited to 2 bedrooms with the room labeled BR3 to serve as a home office. Is that upstairs or?
Yeah, that's
It's
not.
upstairs, it's not downstairs. No.
No, that's, so I guess, maybe I misunderstood. In residential unit, how many are there?
3.
That's what I'm asking. How do we go from the sole
Well,
residential?
let me make sure, Doctor.
Upstairs we have 3 office space
Right,
with 1 apartment,
that's one residential unit.
1 residential.
That's,
Okay, now,
You were
very
scared.
well, Mr. Chairman. I understand.
You were scaring me a little bit, I'm saying,
No,
wow, it's gonna be
I didn't
overnight.
intend to do that.
All right, so, one residential unit,
Right.
3 offices on the second floor, right?
Correct.
Right? And 2 on the first, which we want to just change one little portion where the other office doesn't have to be related to it,
That's correct.
right? Is everybody clear on that? That's the only thing that's changing from the original resolution. Which,
Correct.
by the way, if I may, I said it was silly back then when we did it, but... Any concerns? I mean, maybe it's just the way it came across, but Anybody have any other questions?
Just one comment. Possible condition. Provided they keep the blinds either up or open when they are open.
Well,
The physical therapy.
well, how about a sign or something like that? A sign. Blinds, you're saying blinds?
Well, just blinds on the window.
Yeah, I don't want to get into regulating driving by the signs.
Aesthetics.
Yeah, I mean,
Remember
it's,
what we did want there back then?
no, what I'm saying, I can see your point saying open or closed or whatever, but, you know, I'm saying that the blind's gotta be open. I don't think I want to get into that kind of enforcement.
They were open today.
Well, then,
The only witness, the other witness we have is Mr. Bellmont, who's our planner.
but you're not changing anything.
No,
You feel free to put them on if you want. I mean, that's
I
your,
just,
it's your call.
well, how can I put this? If the board's comfortable with what we're doing, then I'm fine, but, because I don't want to belabor
You
it.
know me well enough, I never.
How about if I get them to talk fast, Mr. Chairman?
I guess I said my piece. I mean, does anybody have any concerns so far? I can't tell you what the.
Then we'll proceed.
Do you proceed? So you want to sum up?
No, no,
You want to bring Mr. Ballard?
need be like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
No, no, I'm serious. Come on,
Do my best.
I just want to make a record, that's all.
It's okay.
Just in case someone wants to.
Any questions from the audience on testimony given by the witnesses? Seeing none, Mr. Ballard?
If you could raise your right hand, please. With regard to this application, do you swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth?
Yes,
Just state your name, spell your last name.
Paul Bauman, last name is spelled B as in boy, A-U-M-A-N.
Mr. Ballard has appeared in front of us many times as a planner, and that's why you're calling him.
And as my colleague would say, is your license still valid?
It is.
Okay, so I'll be careful.
Mr. Baumann, you're familiar with the application, correct?
Yes, sir.
Would you discuss it in your capacity as a professional planner?
Yeah, I'm going to just stick to the law because you've already heard the history. The burden on the applicant is to say that what we are proposing to change isn't going to violate the use variance that was granted originally. It's going to be consistent with that. And I would offer that this application is supporting NJSA 4055D, Section 2A and 2G. Let me explain that. 2A regards public health and general welfare. Well, obviously, a physical therapist does provide something for the public good. It does provide something for the general welfare. The public health and general welfare are both considerations of a physical therapy enterprise. Section 2G, regarding sufficient space at appropriate locations for a variety of uses, including a commercial use such as physical therapy. And obviously, it's there to meet the needs of all New Jersey citizens, but primarily for the benefit of the neighborhood in general around the property in question. Now, in addition to those statutory items, we also have to prove positive and the negative. But I'd also like the board to consider some additional facts in the positive. Proposed modification will not alter the building, the site, or anything that was originally approved by the board except for the use of that one office in the front of the building. Second, the proposed modification is consistent with the uses that were originally anticipated and permitted by the board's 2011 approval. Third, that the utilization has been and is managed as though it were two medical offices present. That is, both uses operate on an appointment-only basis. There's no walk-in traffic, so that will not negatively impact parking or the neighborhood. The use of the ground floor is by certified physical therapist, and because of its kinship to the medical practice, they've been treated as one entity by the zoning officer who issued a temporary C of O for that occupancy, and it's still in effect. To date, the co-location of both entities have been rather uneventful. There's been no conflicts, no hazards to the public have been created, no detriment to the public good or surrounding neighborhood. Sixth, a complementary and synergistic relationship is present between physical therapy and the medical office, that they both have similar benefits to the community, and one can feed off of the other in terms of its ability to support a given customer, a given client. And I believe that leads us to the negative criteria, and there's two prongs to that. The board can grant the variance without substantial detriment to the public good. Now, I think I've already outlined several of those issues, so I don't want to belabor that. But it's located in a very appropriate, suitable location, adjacent to the medical office, and in the proximity to mass transit, and ample street parking, ample parking across the street in a shopping mall that's underutilized. So there's never going to be a parking issue at this site with these uses together. So it will not affect in a negative way the character of the neighborhood. And also, the variance can be granted without substantially impairing the intent and purpose of the zoning plan, the master plan, and the zoning ordinance. The proposed physical therapy use is consistent with the uses permitted in the board's 2011 approval. And the board found at that time that a medical office would be beneficial because it would serve area residents and was permitted by comparison with a hospital, which is a permitted use in that zone. So for all those reasons, I believe we've covered the statutory requirements of both positive and the negative criteria. We would ask the board's favorable condition. Cool.
I have no further questions of Mr. Bowman. Mr. Chairman, I believe you also addressed Mr. Harrod's comments in his memorandum.
I don't see any questions. Go ahead.
That's all we have right now, Mr. Chairman. We'll submit to the board.
So you want to address Mr. Harris's? You want to address Mr. Harris's
Well,
comment?
basically, that was it.
Yeah, as I said, it was-
It was positive and negative
Right.
criteria.
I believe that Mr. Bowman addressed it, and I have no further comment.
So the original resolution, I think, at 1 through 14, issued, itemized here, right now, right? So we're not changing any of those, correct?
No.
Other than the use of this one space on the first
Ground floor.
Everybody clear on that? So the hours of operations are the same,
Everything's the
right?
same.
Appointment, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely.
So the only thing I would ask is, the only comment I would make is, would it be a problem if we made that space restricted to, I'm going to use the word healthcare? In other
The
words,
space that's going to be used by physical therapists will be used for healthcare purposes.
Healthcare purposes,
That's
yes.
not a problem.
But
We will
in the
stipulate.
future,
If
in
they
the
move
future,
out.
if that space opens up,
if it opens up, I don't want a shoemaker there, or an
No, no,
accountant
we'll
there,
stipulate that, Mr.
you know,
Chairman.
a welder there, whatever. I just, if we restrict it to healthcare, you okay with that?
Which is a broad category.
But should the space open up like Mr. Rego is asking, what options will I have?
You would have to come back before the board and say, if you wanted to use it for a non-medical, non-healthcare operation, you need to come back to the board
That's
and
all I'm saying.
explain.
I'm using that word healthcare to kind of broaden
Broaden
the
it,
term,
yes.
you know,
Thank you,
but,
Mr. Chairman.
chiropractor,
right, that kind of thing.
podiatrist,
But
and
if you want to,
Great, that's fine. Actually, it's broader, it's healthcare, so.
healthcare,
Thank you.
I'm not saying doctor, I'm saying healthcare.
Very
It
well.
could be a physical therapist, whatever,
We agree.
okay?
Thank you.
Any objections?
No.
No.
When you said the hours of operation,
Yeah.
that the therapy place is having now, or it's the same as the
Everybody.
hours for the doctor?
Everybody.
Everything, it's, the therapy operation that's operating now is operating within the confines of the doctor's hours as approved by
This is
2011.
the original resolution.
8 a.m. to 8 a.m.
It seems reasonable.
That's all I have.
Any other? Yeah. Any other questions? if seeing none, any questions from the public regarding testimony that was just given? Seeing none, anybody in the public have any comments to make regarding this case? Seeing none, okay. And that being said, is that us first, any comments, discussion?
Public comments closed. Okay.
Any discussion amongst the board? Seeing none, have a motion from someone?
I'll make a motion.
Arnold, making a motion
I'll second.
to, motion to what?
To
Deny?
approve, I'm sorry.
To modify the language as requested
Right.
with our normal conditions, our generic conditions, and the additional condition regarding any open space on the ground floor should be rented to a healthcare provider in the broadest sense. And if not, we'll deal with it.
Clerk, all right,
No, I second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Mafucci seconded it.
Yes.
Clerk, call the roll.
Caruso.
Yes.
Lozowa.
Yes.
Fucci.
Yes.
Sheldon.
Yes.
Milano.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. If I can say, the staff and the professionals are very easy to get along with. It really, it makes life easy for a lawyer, I appreciate it. Including even Mr. Rivers.
That's right, you quit me when it's good until you...
You should have stopped the road.
Okay. May I have a motion for adjournment?
Thank you.
Thank you, good night.
Thank you.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mafucci made the motion. Second? All in favor of adjournment? Aye. Adjourned.